Anthony Cardinal Okojie. May God bless you and keep you safe on your 50th priesthood anniversary. May God bless you and keep you safe. It's a golden jubilee in the Lord's vineyard, and we have seen the best of the best. Anthony Cardinal.
All the world is a stage, and all the men and women who are the players. They have their exits and their entrances. Out of the contention of William Shakespeare. So today we shall talk about a man whose contribution to humanity emboldens us to say he has left footprints on the sands of time. I am talking about His Eminence, Anthony Cardinal Okojie.
It's an enigma. For me, the man is an enigma. Stepping it down, it would be like, if you remember when 3 blind people went to see an elephant. Some touched it by the trunk and described that the elephant is flat. Some touched it by the leg, they said that the elephant is like a big tree, and so forth and so on. Cardinal Okojie, it's the way I look at Cardinal Okojie, he is an epitome of what a clergyman ought to be, an apostle. He has the wisdom of a street man that you can meet in any corner of the street in Lagos or anywhere. But he also had the stature of a prince and has the disposition of a king.
He's a down-to-earth person, really down to earth. Feels at ease at home with all kinds of categories of people. Children come to him and feel at home. Poor people see him. Wherever he goes, he's approachable. He doesn't. He's not an aloof kind of a person. And also, maybe this is why he takes on the struggle to fight on behalf of the downtrodden and the poor and neglected.
There is a tendency to see him as a firebrand, as a serious and active critique of the evils of administration, of evils of government, and of evils in the society.
I group him in the family of patriotic Nigerians who have always told the government where they went from.
A very hard person when it comes to what he believes. He took on the government headlong at every given time.
Very hard man, but very caring and loving, very principled man. When it comes to administration, establishment, this system in particular is second to none.
Well, I think he's a very humble man. He's also very simple. He's a man who does not impose the discipline he won't practice on other people. I'm impressed by his austerity with himself.
He's somebody that believes in equity and justice and fairness in everything that he does.
He's a man that speaks his mind, and it's very, very tough.
I think Cardinal is a person who is enormously passionate about the things that he believes in, and those things are usually about a certain good for the social order.
Cardinal will never give up. If he believes in something, he will pursue it vigorously and make sure that happens.
His humility, without any doubt, I have learned a lot from that as a person. Listen, that is a man of God.
He's a man of God, very courageous man. In short, he's a priest.
That Okojie, the Oken meaning, that man, Anthony Okojie, is the best gift God gave to Nigeria. Yes, a clergyman of par excellence.
Okojie was a good footballer. Not often very neat and tidy in his tactics, but he used to score goals.
I will say that definitely he is a saint.
It's a man who, by the grace of God, means different things to different people. For the church, obviously, he's a man that has earned the respect of the church, such that he could be created a cardinal.
Anthony Cardinal Okojie, the blessing of God to the Archdiocese of Lagos. A man of faith, a man of God, a man of self-confidence, a man of courage, a man of prayer.
In Okojie, there is no season for prayer, there is no out of season. That is, in season and out of season, he's always praying. And his devotion to the rosary, that is, no matter what the weather looks like, no matter what the day looks like, he's never tired. That is, of praying, saying the rosary.
Well, His Eminence Cardinal Okojie means so many things to so many people. You see, he is a priest of the Catholic Church. Should be a priest of priests. So what I mean is that this is a man who comes low to everybody. You know, he attends to everybody the way you are. He comes to their own level. No matter, he does not discriminate. He comes to the level of everybody, no matter who you are. You know, if one's opportunity to interact with him, you know actually that he is a priest by excellence.
I don't even know myself. I think it's God's gift. If you look at my motto, faith, courage, and love. When I was made a bishop, I asked myself, what kind of motto will I have? Because the motto tells briefly about your life. So when people see you act, they look at your motto and say, no wonder.
Anthony Cardinal Okojie was born in a rough neighborhood of Lagos on the 16th of June 1936 to Prince Michael Okojie from an Ishan royal family in Uromi and his wife Lucy Adwola, a Yoruba.
Cardinal is a patriarch. He is from Uromi, father from Uromi, from the royal family. He grew up in Sapele, Lagos, and did his seminary, but all the time he has never dissociated his name or person from Uromi, and he's from the royal family, so that even makes it stronger. The king never loses his background, no matter where he goes to.
The cardinal is from this place, and I learned that this is where they grew up. This is their land. This is where the family house was built from. So this land was given to the church by the family, and at the moment, the Catholic Diocese of Uromi is erecting a structure here that will be meant for the printing press of the diocese.
Olubumi, as was called, was the first of 6 children. He was baptized Anthony at Holy Cross Catholic Church by the parish priest, Reverend Father Kilby.
We were 6 in the family. The last child died. 2 boys and 3 girls.
He began his elementary education at Holy Cross Primary School in 1951, and 2 years later moved into St. Gregory's Primary School, where he became an altar boy.
We were altar servers. I told you we tried to mimic priests and say prayed with them, And most of the time, they even come at any time during their free time. See, another one we notice is when they are saying their bravery, walking up and down. Then we kept saying, "Will these people not be tired?" Left, right, and center. And we sneak around to watch them to see what they are doing. Then when we get tired, we leave them. They don't continue their job. Then we try to follow them anytime they go out. Some of them play golf, some play draft, some play Ludo. And just to let us know that I noticed that this is a life that somebody can just come into. And that, I think that was one of the reasons why I started thinking that if this is a kind of life that God wants me to live, I wouldn't mind, I would join.
On the 12th of January 1954, he entered the St. Teresa's Catholic Minor Seminary, Okare, Ibadan.
Anthony Cardinal Okojie, may God bless you and keep you safe on your 50th priesthood anniversary. May God bless you and keep you safe. It's a golden jubilee in the Lord's vineyard, and we have seen the best of the best.
And from there, the St. Peter and Paul Major Seminary, Bodija, also in Ibadan. As the first son, his father objected to his decision to go to the seminary. He had wanted Anthony to be either a doctor or an engineer, but God had decided, and there was nothing anybody could do about it.
So it wasn't easy for my father to give in, I must confess. It wasn't easy at all. But finally, he gave in.
It was difficult for Anthony to reconcile the restless exuberance of the back streets of Lagos, which he represented, to the quiet, pervasive discipline of the seminary. Sustained diligence of prayer and the inspiring company of his contemporary Alaba Job, now Emeritus Archbishop of Ibadan, helped to gradually subdue and school his instincts.
I've known him since the 12th of January 1954, when we entered St. Teresa's Minor Seminary, Okare, Ibadan. He came from Lagos. I came from Ishuri. And we have been together, the Lord providing it, making it possible that the two of us have been going together all through till date. When I said we have been going together, I mean that we left the minor seminary, went to the major seminary, finished our philosophy, and we were posted to the same place, one after the other. He spent first 6 months of 1962 in Ijebubo under the parish priest, Father Michael McLaughlin, SMA.
His pastoral experience with Father McLaughlin prepared him for greater tasks ahead.
I did it with Reverend Father McLaughlin. He's a very stern man, and he always liked you. We trained you how to be a journalist. Anytime we went out to the bush or to the house station and come back, the seminary, have you put those things down? So, he said, no, Father, I want it first thing tomorrow morning. So it means I have to start immediately after lunch, and then in the evening after the rosary, because we say the rosary with him, then night prayers, then I have to go back to bed, make sure that these things are ready. And he would ask for it, he went business.
And when we finished, we came back and started theology in St. Peter and Paul, Major Seminary. And lo and behold, in 1963, both of us again were sent together to Rome to study in Propaganda Fide. We were together
even in the same camerata, in the same house. After his theological studies in Rome, Anthony and his friend Alaba Job chose to be ordained in Nigeria by Archbishop Age, their local ordinary.
But one thing I said, I'm not going to be ordained with him in Holy Cross Cathedral. I'm going home, Ijebu, Ishure Ijebu Imushin, to be ordained. So that we didn't do together.
I was ordained the year 1966 on the 4th of December by Archbishop Age.
And we went back to Rome, January 6th, 1967, and came back again, 24th of September, 1967. Both of us traveling 21 days by boat from Genoa in Italy to Lagos.
I was greatly surprised. I was just, it was after 2 years ordained as a priest when the war broke out. And Monsieur Martins, God rest his soul, is dead now. He was a chaplain then. He moved into my office and said, I want you for the army. I said, Monsieur, I didn't put myself here. He got annoyed. You know the stick they used to carry and knocked it on my table. I would not forget that. I thought the stick would break, but he didn't. He said, I know what I do. So he went straight to Archbishop Age. And before I know it, the nuncio then, that Pope representative, summoned me to his place and gave me £50. He said, now you have to report. I detailed my report to Monsieur Martins, Colonel Martins.
Of young Anthony's life began to change when he was suddenly recalled to be drafted into the Nigerian army by Archbishop Age as a chaplain to work under the now late Colonel Pedro Martin, the then chaplain.
When I got to his place, he looked at me and said, have you had breakfast? I said, no, Monsieur. I said, shut up. I said, here you don't say Monsieur. You say, sir. That was the first lesson I learned. I said, yes, Monsieur. I said, you won't learn. I said, you don't say that word again. He was raising his voice. Really annoyed. So he said, yes, sir. So then he called his steward to prepare breakfast for me. And the steward came and said, is it continental you want? Or I said, which one is continental before you say the other one? So Monsieur, give me anything, give me anything you want. I said, yeah, very well. So he prepared bacon, eggs, and whatnot. The next thing, as I was about putting the into my mouth, I said, hey, drop that.
The seminary formation was totally different from military life in the barracks, especially during the war. On the 5th of June, 1971, at the age of 34, Anthony, by the special grace of God and the favor of the Apostolic See, was appointed the auxiliary bishop of Oyo Diocese and the titular bishop of Maskula. Having consented to the burden of the episcopal seat, Okojie chose as his motto faith, courage, and love. He was consecrated on the 29th of August 1971 by Bishop Owen McCoy, Bishop of Oyo.
Let us not forget that both Job and Okojie were appointed bishops very soon after their priestly ordination. So that meant that 2-3 years after the ordination, they were already bishops. And that meant they had no opportunity of going for any long theological specialist studies. And it is amazing how, based largely on the basic formation they had in theology, they were able to perform so well.
And as God would have it, on the 19th of September 1972, at the age of 36, Bishop Okojie was transferred to Lagos as an auxiliary bishop to Archbishop Age, only to be made an Archbishop and the Metropolitan See of Lagos on the 13th of April, 1973.
I would say his motto, which he has on his coat of arms: faith, courage, love. I think those three make his philosophy of life: a man of faith, a man of courage, and a man of love. He believes in divine providence. I'm very conscious that having been appointed the Archbishop of the great Archdiocese of Lagos at a tender age, a big responsibility has been placed on his shoulders. He needed courage, he needed to have strong faith in God, who has assigned him this great responsibility, and he has to carry it out all with love of God and love of fellow human beings, particularly the flock that was placed under his charge.
As an Archbishop of Lagos, Okojie saw not only the creation of more parishes and the Christian communities, he expanded the geographical coverage of what is now Archdiocese of Lagos.
At the time he came in, there were only about 17 parishes in the Archdiocese. By the time he left office a few years ago, it had grown to more than 100. And I think that was a great job that he did.
He's an apostle. You know, I always look at him as akin to St. Paul. How he went about establishing churches from one country to the other. So Okojie continued to establish one parish. I don't know how many parishes he opened every year.
All the Christian communities in Nigeria, and especially Lagos Archdiocese, will forever remain grateful to God for the gift of His Eminence, Anthony Cardinal Okojie, not only for his faith, courage, and love, but for the building of the now imposing Augustine Catholic University, Lagos, the expansion and the beautification of Holy Cross Cathedral with its 15-foot bell tower now looking over the lordly Eco-City, and hospitals, and of course, lest we forget, the strict discipline among priests and lay faithful in Lagos.
Augustine University at Tepe, which has taken off. Having a Catholic university in Lagos Archdiocese, where our own children, will go, and they will be brought up in our own Catholic tradition. Not only our children, because you will be surprised to hear that even Muslims love taking their children to Catholic school.
I recall when we were trying to start the Augustine University as well, and how long it took before the license came. Today, the university is up, and it's going to be a great place of learning.
Another one is the specialist hospital at Ikorodu, where the cost of treatment is brought down low for the downtrodden, not only the downtrodden, because the medical, treatment you get there is something very, close to what you can get abroad. You can imagine that giving us that is equally wonderful.
Of healthcare, he has also done a great thing too. I mean, we have our hospital at Ijede, Raphael Michael Hospital at Ijede. He has really done a great work in the society and a lot of impact in the lives of the people in general.
Well, the footprints are quite large because he has loomed very large over the entire Archdiocese, having been Archbishop for nearly 40 years. that certainly has created an opportunity to make an imprint in the sense of the time of the Archdiocese of Lagos. In various ways, it has impacted on the life of the church in the Archdiocese and the different groups within the Archdiocese. In the realm of education, in the realms of health, in the realm of engagement with the political class. I think he has left quite a big footprint.
He has left incredible marks, incredible legacies that some of us have been able to tap into.
Those of you who are conversant with the lays of ancient Rome will remember how brave Horatius defended the breach gallantly at Las Porsena. Why am I saying this? It is not easy to forget Cardinal Anthony Okojie's role as the president of the Christian Association of Nigeria. Why? Because he stood alone, defiantly against despotism. I remember him for that.
Having been chairman of CAEAN at some point in time, he represents the voice of the Christian community in Nigeria.
I'm one of the foundation members, and I think he was one of the ones that pushed it really together with Cardinal Akposeri. There, we succeeded in bringing all Christians together. But Catholic Church was the leading, the primary purpose with the CAEAN. We linked together. Then after some time, I think we still had some mushroom churches here and there that go under the umbrella of Christian. Then we now said, all right, let's bring them in. Well, when I was there for 8 years. When I was there, I must tell you that I had a good secretary. He's dead, C.O. Williams, Mr. C.O. Williams. He was a Methodist. You dare not come out and say you are saying something. They first of all come to the center. They come to us and say, this is my problem. Some people are trying to encroach on us, so. Then we now take it on ourselves to solve it.
As president of the CDCN, also as president of CAEAN, Christian Association of Nigeria, he brought sanity to the nation. He insisted on the rights of the church and of the citizens. He fought against issues that were detrimental to the progress of the nation, and he spoke out boldly. He was a man that stood for what was right and still stands for what is right. But when he was president of CAEAN, there were many issues on ground. For one thing, the military were in power and they had to confront a lot of things that they were doing, and especially things as it concerned the church. He never compromised his faith. He took his stand. He spoke when he needed to speak, and he was silent when he needed to be silent. So I think I can say boldly that some of us learned from him.
Maybe God brought him that time to save Nigeria by his boldness and outright condemnation of all the ills of those governments. I think some of the military presidents that are still alive will tell you how he was a thorn in their flesh, because what they think they would just do without comments or without resistance, the cardinal would just come out and say what the masses would want to say but cannot say because of the type of government that was in power. So the tendency is to see him as a serious political critic.
If he had any agenda at all, he has the agenda of being a fierce defender of truth, of honesty, of justice. like Jesus was. Like Jesus was. In his defense of the truth and justice, anybody who stood in his way was not spared. And this is where he had his occasional clashes with the politicians who often did not respect truth, honesty, and justice.
I found Cardinal Okojie to just be a passionate priest, a pastor, sensitive about the nature of the political world, how it impacted his flock and affected their faith.
And a lot of things were wrong with the government, particularly during the military. And for somebody like Okojie to face the government, okay, and as I said, he was thrown out of the government by Obasanjo, okay, because he was very critical. He's for the masses, okay, and is ready to say his mind, okay, and I was touched then, I felt so bad, okay, that he was threw out. He was given 24 hours to move out of government house, okay, and he was chased out the next day because he kept saying the truth. He believed in the truth. He's very dogged, Well, you can understand the typical Lafiaji boy. You expect, they are fearless. Okay, and we thank God we had him, and he shook the government. Okay, and any government that comes to be, even Babangida, I worked with all of them, I know them, Abacha and all of them. Okay, they fear him. Okay, so they try to get him in and seek his opinion.
He saw a lot of things going wrong. You have a choice. Either keep quiet like many other people do and don't draw unnecessary problems for yourself. He adopted an attitude of, let me speak out. And he kept speaking out. And he selected subjects that were very germane and current on the occasion. Contrary to what people said, that maybe he wanted to provoke the then military government, I would say the cap he wore was giving voice to the voiceless.
Like I remember one occasion, I was just in my office listening to the radio, and I heard on the radio that one Muslim lady was going to be stoned to death. It's for committing adultery. I felt it. How can you stone somebody to death? Okay, well. And what was the committing adultery? What of the man? She can't commit adultery alone. What of the man? Anyway, to cut the long story short, I called my script Monsieur Osu, now Monsieur Osu. He used to be my torchlight, I said, to the world. I said, please put this in the paper, that I'm going to stand there. That girl, instead of stoning that lady or that girl, they should stone me. I'll be there with my Bible. I was just thinking, I didn't even know. Something was just moving me to say this. And Father said, Monsieur Dan said, Your Grace, this. I said, no, don't worry, just put it there, don't worry. So after then I started hearing on the radio that, the Catholic Archbishop is going to sacrifice his life for this lady, that he will be there to take the stones, that they take the baton of the stones. Believe you me? People started phoning me, my own Catholic Bishop, you can't do that, you can't do this. It's not, after all, it's not, you don't know the girl, it's not, they were just trying to dissuade me from doing it.
Christ came to die for every one of us. He never chose the Jews from the Gentiles. Never chose the Chinese from the African. He died for human beings. And I believe that that's what guided Anthony Cardinal Okojie to say what he said. He saw that woman as a child of God. And he would have said it if even the woman was an idol worshipper. If the woman was a Christian, he would still have done exactly the same.
People say she's somewhere in Europe. That's what I heard. I don't know. I'm not interested in all I want is save that life.
Putting Catholicism in the forefront in Nigeria. Whenever Okojie speaks, people listen. And then people have come to associate that with the discipline of the Catholic Church. I think it's a very remarkable thing. Because you know that that man of that will always insist on justice. It has to be, there has to be justice. And he's always on the side of the poor. And I think that is a good example of what our Lord Jesus Christ came to the world.
Created the cardinal on the consistory of 21st October 2003 and installed cardinal priest of Beata Virginia Maria del Monte Carmelo Amostosiano on the 22nd May 2004, the personality of Anthony Cardinal Okojie remains many things to many people, and to capture the enigma of Okojie's personality, Sir Steve Omojafo posed the question in his book, Anthony Cardinal Okojie, Devil or Saint?
Cardinal Okojie, what is behind him? What is, all kinds of names. Okay? Eventually, I said, no. We need something more creative than just ordinary name. And I approached him. I said, are you devil? He said, I'm not devil. Are you a saint? He said, it's not a saint. And everything I've written here, some tends to paint you the negative world, some other ones paint you positively. So, do you mind if I title this book, Archbishop Okojie, Devil or Saint? He said, what impression is that going to give the world? I said, well, if they want to know the truth about it, let them read the book, and then that is the impression they're going to make. When I asked some of the people I interviewed, do you think it's a saint or you think it's a devil? And they all gave different interpretations, they all gave different responses. So that book, according to him, still remains the most articulate and the most read of all the books that have been written about it.
His Excellency, Dr. Willie Obiano, Governor, Anambra State, now recounts his encounter with His Eminence, Anthony Cardinal Okojie.
Where Cardinal recognized me more, if you will, was at the building of the Reverend Father's 3-story complex. We built that General Catholic Church, I wouldn't say I built it alone. I built it with my friends and parishioners. But I did with mercy was construction of campus. And Cardinal Okojie is an epitome of the Catholic Church. As a very strong thing. First, is fearless, shows love and compassion for people. He's a generous giver, despite the fact that he's a generous giver. Those area boys that live around the former house, he's always doing giving cows for them, doing festivities, that much I know. And it's done extremely well in trying to propagate his community, which lies on so many platforms. Love for one another, compassion, being generous to the people. Cardinal epitomizes all of them. So he's somebody that does not joke with the faith, and somebody that is also very prayerful. All those virtues you like to see in the Catholic is embodied in what Cardinal is. I'm so happy that he's still strong. I must apologize that since I assumed this office, I've not been able to see him as much as I used to. But I'll find time to see him and visit some of the old days. I always tell him that the only thing I want from the Catholic Church was to be a papal knight. And you say, when you work hard, you have to work hard. You have to work hard. And he was about to do it before he retired. But I admire him. He's a personal friend, and he's a good man. God has blessed him, and through him, God has blessed so many people.
This is a man, in fact, whatever our association is today, I mean, the CAEAN, he made it possible because he encouraged us in the first instance. I remember when the association was formed, he asked then Reverend Father Mosano, to bring us to the Catholic Church with our various costumes. You can imagine what it means. Those of us who are used to playing native doctor, different things, coming to the church with our costumes, with wearing rats, wearing goat head and terracotta. In fact, the church almost ran away that day. But then, during the sermon, he told them that he actually wants us to come that way, so that the Catholic Church will know that we are Catholics. And some of us are practicing Catholic, so that they should not be afraid of us. We are using that attire to evangelize. In fact, he gave us the first money that made us to start, being what we are today as CAEAN. So we cannot forget him. That is why we decided to celebrate him live. We call this project, celebrating Anthony Okojie live.
Dear grandfather of our faith, as dear Wilfred Akpani once described you, I want to see this opportunity to wish you many more years as you toil in the vineyard of the Lord for our own benefit. I'm not the only person who should do this. There are many others.
What do I wish him? I wish him as much as I wish myself. I really wish him good health. He's a very prayerful man. And one thing I vouch I will do for him, is to build a comfortable house for him where he will stay. And I'm proud today, that I personally was involved in making sure, using my contact in government, got him where he's staying now, made sure, collect money, and build him a befitting, it's a wonderful place. I'm very proud of him, and I'm happy. And that's one of the things I say I want to do for him. That since he was thrown out of government house, he will live in Okojie and live in a better house before the Lord will call him. So in terms of that, it's very comfortable, which I thank God for. And I have to thank God too that I'm instrumental in bringing this about.
May God bless you, Your Eminence. May this God who has kept you and given you this ministry that you have not neglected but has stood for, may He stand for you. May He give you many, many more years of the ability and capacity to continue to speak for Him on His behalf, for the church, and for this nation called Nigeria. I celebrate His Eminence, the Cardinal Olubunmi Okojie. I celebrate you, sir. May heaven also continue to celebrate you. We are looking forward to many more years of having you with us, and as we continue to gain from your experience and learn from the things you have learned, so that we can avoid mistakes. I'm sure that will be your wish. But we thank God for your life, and we believe God will give you good health. Good health. You need strength. You need good health. You need God's blessings. And we continue to join many good meaning Nigerians to say Happy Jubilee for such an incredible man. May God bless you, sir.
As he becomes 50 as a priest, as a priest, I wish him all the best. I wish God long to give him long life, good health.
I appreciate him, and I pray that the good Lord will continue to bless him in his vineyard.
Good health and happiness in continuing to serve the Lord. I wish him a very, very blessed night. I wish we have him for another 50 years.
Oh, that as St. Paul wished himself, it's a long distance race. that he stays steadfast in running this race, and that in the end, that he will win the crown that was reserved for those who run this race well to the very end.
My wish for him is that for as long as he lives, the Lord continue to be with him and strengthen him even in his faith.
I cannot but wish him long life and happy life. He's a man of prayer. He's a man, he's a full administrator. He's in short, I don't know what else. I don't want to run the list of. He's a saint.
Okay, pray for long life, pray for strong health of mind and body. And that is one of the things I said during my homily, during the celebration. I said, well, we still need you. And because we still need you, we want you to take good care of yourself. So I think I wish you long life, not just long life, but good one.
Is that our good Lord will continue to strengthen him. Strengthen him because we still need him. We still need his wisdom. We still need him to strengthen him so that he will live longer for us, and for the other clergy to be tapping, his wealth of experience, spiritually and otherwise.
Good health of mind, body, and soul, for whatever more years God may have for him.
He's a man of strong faith. We also pray that the good Lord will sustain him in his faith and keep him for us.
We can only wish that the grace of God will continue to abide with him and that he will continue to experience a multiple expression of that grace as he grows older in the world. We pray too for good health of mind and body for him. I believe that he is somebody that is truly blessed as far as health is concerned.
What my wish for him is he should, in fact, add another 50 years, another 50 years. In fact, if it's possible, well, we wish him the best that God can offer to people of his time for him.
My wish for him is that God will give him many more years of ecclesiastical experience to shepherd his people. He is still very active, even though he has retired as an archbishop, but he is still there as a father of the church. God will continue to bless him. God will continue to strengthen him. Of course, he's a fighter, and he will never renege. He will continue to fight for the Catholic faith in Nigeria, and we wish him the best of celebrations.
My name is Fred Amata, the President of the Directors Guild of Nigeria. On the occasion of your Golden Jubilee, I wish you very, very happy celebrations.
My name is Kepi Ekpeyong. I'm a media practitioner. I'm really, really excited to give this shout out to the cardinal on his 50th year as a priest. On behalf of my family, we just want to say congratulations, and we pray that God continuously, manifestly bless you and your household and your congregation. Amen.
My wish is say, I wish him to live forever. Hey! If God will feed one, make him live forever, long every life. Because the first time I visited him for where they live, I said, "No people will come. Anybody when go see and come on, not so smart. So why would not go cherish man? I wish him well. I wish him the best everywhere. What did I go talk when others never talk? So I wish him well. Thank God.
That we will continue to praise and thank God for the gift of life, for the gift of faith, and for the vocation He has called us to. To thank Him for making us worthy so far in the little way we have been. To thank Him for those who have helped us to arrive at this 50th anniversary. To ask God to bless them, those who are living, to grant eternal rest to those who are dead. To ask that the remaining part of our life will be spent still working hard in our little way until the end. And in the words of St. Paul, say, for him and for all of us who are celebrating our Golden Jubilee, please pray, lest
after having fought and carried the faith so many. Pray for us so that we do not become cast away. May the Lord continue to bless His church, bless this country, and bless all His people.
Well, let us give 3 boza to our grand patron. Sure. Not be 50 boza now for him.
For his 50th anniversary.
No, we could make a Trinity boza.
Okay.
Boza! 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 Our grand patron.
Is a golden jubilee in the Lord's vineyard, and we have seen the best of the best. Anthony Okojie, may God bless you and keep you safe. Lord Jesus, think on Him with care and warm praise. Let the servants be and take the promised rest. Lord Jesus, think on Him and me.